should just do it right the first time.
You gotta leave that.
Can I give a great example of that? Do it right the first time, right? And this is why that's not gonna work. That's a dartboard, right? That's a dartboard. Hold on.
Yes, come on, T.
Bullseye here. I should be able to hit that.
And you gonna hit the target, right?
Okay. Now here.
Okay. Go ahead.
I should be able to hit that because it's there.
Right.
How did you know? How do you know?
Okay.
What the fuck happened?
Okay. This is an example, right? Example, right? This example, right?
It's called human error.
Great. So you just
That's
represent.
right.
You just
Tribulations, right?
You just
had to go through something to get somewhere.
You just represent human error.
That's the story, right?
No one told him how to do it. He just asked the question and then threw it.
Yeah.
If he asked God, say if I played God, and I said, you want to know how to hit this bullseye?
Yeah.
You want to hit it, right? You chose to throw it. Why did you throw it from here when all you had to do was
It was simple.
Oh
He
my
was simple.
God. That's
simple.
That's different.
If you got the power in God within you, it's that simple.
It's that simple. Thank you. It's that simple. If you got
What's
the power of
yours
God,
is
you
yours.
can't overcomplicate it. You can throw it from right here. No one's stopping you. That's free will.
Look, Lord have mercy, you cursed me with this blessing. You gave me a shielded weapon, but turns out I be that weapon, huh? I be that one you chosen. The skinny nigga with strength to move a mountain. The baby face assassin that trait from that you found.
All right, family. All right, brothers and sisters, we are in it, man. We're in the thick of it. We're in the thick of it right now. We got the Long Island iced tea. Somebody passed me that Long Island. This is my cup from earlier. This your cup? This my cup? No, this is my cup. Thank you, brother. Okay, cool. The topic of discussion today is, are we ruining ourselves, man? Now, the show is called Context Free, but that's a pretty general question. It's hard to be context free with a question like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's just break it down and get right into it. Do you believe, first of all, I'm tripping. We got the big brother Corey in the house. The big brother Corey is here for the show today.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the big brother. It's Corey, son of Corey, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We got the brother. I don't want to go by your name. If you want to go by the YouTube identity. Okay, we got the Wiz Kid. Am I saying it correct?
The wizard now, but yes, sir.
The Wizard. Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
All praises. Okay, for sure. I'm with it. We about to go crazy, man. We're going to have this conversation. We're going to get into it. The topic of conversation is, are we ruining ourselves? Are we ruining each other? And I'm going to give my little synopsis, and I'm going to keep it brief because I don't want to take it away from the guests that we got. We got some powerful brothers on the show. I say we are destroying ourselves. I think that we don't pay enough attention to who we are as a people, and I don't think that we pay enough attention to our potential as people. I think I've been in too many rooms where people that look like us, and maybe even other people, say things like, you can't talk to that person, he's too high up. I specifically remember an event where I was at I won't say the name of the organization, but it was at a certain particular more upscale bank related event. And I was talking to some people and I wanted to go meet the executive of this particular bank. Right. The lady says, did you go talk to him? I said, yeah, I shook his hand. I talked to him. He's a cool guy. Yes, in my head, I'm already a CEO. Yes, why would I be afraid to talk to somebody that's not even the CEO of the bank?
Exactly.
Right. But our people, we got this complex. We put ourselves in a position to be second place. We got to stop. But I'm going to be quiet now. I'm going to hand it over. We're going to go clockwise. I think that's clockwise. To the big brother Corey. We're going to hear what he has to say. Go ahead, brother. I'm going to take a sip of my Long Island.
Most definitely. I would have to agree with you on that, brother.
All right.
So, yeah, most definitely. I would have to agree with you on that, brother.
For sure.
We are destroying ourselves. I feel like we take a lot of, like banter or like a lot of other people's concerns and we wear those, around daily. And that's not what we should do as a people. Everybody got their, flaws. Every culture has their flaws.
That's right.
So for us to, fixate on our flaws, actually getting better, it puts us behind. Because you don't see the other cultures like hung up on the few that don't want to,
They don't protect them.
yeah, you feel me? So if they got people in their culture who don't do right, that's just people who don't do right,
They get shamed.
You feel me?
There's a shame aspect behind it.
They quick to separate themselves, but like when it comes down to us, that is who we are as a people,
Yeah.
And just because two brothers or two sisters don't, necessarily have that respect for one another, no, that's the people. It's not the people.
That's not the people.
Yes, sir.
That's a good way. I think that, and the scripture says we're supposed to do that. Now, we got to have a certain level of mercy, sure. But if somebody's wilding and going off, they got to go.
Oh, yeah.
They got to get out of there, man. You wilding and acting crazy. If you're causing danger to the general image, you got to be distant. What you think about that, Johnny?
I heard a little bit of it. He's talking about like they gotta go. Like, what do you mean? Like
they gotta be distanced. Like, I think there should be, as the brother was explaining, a shame aspect to when you cause destruction to the image. So, like, for example, I won't say his name because who knows what YouTube will say about that. But there's a certain brother who does music. His name starts with an R and ends with a Y. There's a one missing letter, and it's Ellie. And, whether you believe he did it or not, whether you believe he's guilty or innocent, assuming he was not innocent, as a collective, we got to say, nah. I think we fight too much for the image of brothers who don't need to be fought for. Right. While there's better brothers who can be lifted up. We don't lift them up, but we lift up the people who, because they sang a little bit good, they get a chance.
I get what you saying.
Yeah,
we got to stand for something. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's not, if they're doing something wrong and you know it, we gotta oust them out. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But with people in music, we always with like Michael, there's been a couple things that he's been accused of doing, but because their music is so good, sometimes we forgive him.
Right.
People like, nah, he make good music, so we all,
That's
so,
right.
But we're accountable.
Absolutely.
I definitely believe that we're accountable.
Accountability, yeah. So we skipped over to Big Brother, Wizard. My apologies, we didn't mean to do that. Go ahead, go ahead.
Well, what was the question again?
So the topic we're on now is shame. This idea of shaming those of us who cause a negative image, like who disperse our image as a collective. But generally, are we ruining ourselves? Is that a way you think we're ruining ourselves by not shaming those who need to be shamed? I talk to my wife about that a lot. Shame is important, especially for young men.
Oh, yes, sir.
Right. Well, can I say it like this? To me, life is about perspective, right? So if I have a different perspective than you and I'm willing to fight for that perspective, am I right or am I wrong?
If you have a different perspective than me,
right,
and you're willing to fight for that perspective, are you right or are you wrong?
Right.
Well, and this is where the juicy meat of the conversation comes in, because all of us have a different, we'll say, moralistic perspective. Right. I'm a Torah observer. I keep biblical commandments. So just to rebut what you're saying and maybe add context to how you're expressing it.
Yeah.
If you say to me, and I just had this conversation today, if you say to me, as a Torah observer, I can have multiple wives, but my wife cannot, I would say, yes, that's correct. I can have multiple wives, but my wife cannot have multiple husbands. A typical American thought-believing person would say that's wrong. That's the conversation that I had today.
Right.
And so, to me, if you say that's wrong, I will disagree. And I will say, well, God hates you. I'm not going to say that, but you understand the point. It's going to be a tumultuous disagreement.
Exactly. So, say if I say something so, it's going to be more spiritual than just physical.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand this aspect in order to understand how the world works.
That's right.
But like I said, it's about perspective. So a lot of people may not even be able to grasp what I'm going to say because they're not even there yet. You feel me? So I'm just going to lay it out here in the raw, and then hopefully we can pick
We'll
up the
go from
conversation.
there. Right. Okay.
So-
Okay. Cool.
Look at it like this. I say we are already in a state of ruin, and there's no way of going back unless you go back.
Right.
So, for example, there's one man that walked this earth that had no sin on him.
Don't say Jesus because I disagree.
Exactly. It was Adam.
Adam sinned.
Wait, he
Okay.
did the first sin
Okay.
that
you did the first thing.
initiated sin.
Mm.
So before that, he lived a life.
Mm.
So,
And you know what? He was cooling without sinning until Eve came through.
bang. So understand me.
Mm-hmm.
There was a way of life before the fall.
Right.
So once he bit the apple and left that, if you know the story, and left the Garden of Eden,
Yeah.
he committed the first sin.
Mm.
So he was the most purest person that got the first sin drop on him.
Mm.
From that point,
Right.
everything went down.
Right.
But you left the holy place.
Mm.
You left your natural state and became a state of your own
Right.
grief and disbelief and all of these things that you put on yourself.
Right.
These are things that you learned through life.
Right.
And like I said, life is about perspective. So if you're willing to die behind the fact that you went and you lived this life with your parents, you feel what I'm saying? And you put this thought process on another person.
Yeah.
Like what makes you right? Because you lived the life.
Mm.
See? But now we got to go with what is right.
Exact. What is right?
Yeah.
What is right and what is wrong?
But see, what people don't understand about right and wrong, that's also emotional standpoints. You feel me?
There's an
Right.
emotionalistic
There's-
aspect of life.
They really don't exist. It's incorrect or correct.
Mm.
So if I go back and write it, I mean that's a alleviation of the guilt that I feel right there. You know, I don't have to really come to you and fix what I did. You know what I mean? Like I can just, oh yeah, you right. You know,
Yeah.
nah. If we move by correct and incorrect, then I mean we get down to the truth. You know, of what something is. You know, or the situation, or how things can be handled, and move forward to a better future.
Yeah.
So
If I may,
Yeah.
I believe that can be manipulated because
What can be manipulated?
that thought. Imagine being a rich
Being right or correct or incorrect.
Yes,
Okay.
correct or incorrect. Because define being a rich man
Mhm.
right now believes he's correct because he has more money than you.
oh yeah.
Okay.
So he can more things, right?
Yeah.
That makes him quote unquote more correct. But
Right.
to what standard makes him wrong if he's wrong?
Yeah, that's
See?
To what standard makes him wrong? If he, let me get the notes app up real quick.
yeah, that boils down to the morals of a
Bang.
person.
Right.
So now, who created moral?
Um,
Who gave us the standard of living for us to follow by, to disobey or obey? Because you just said there is a right or wrong here. There's an incorrect or correct here. So if that is the case, that means there's a hot and cold.
Right.
So who made that ruling that made it so impenetrable that is now it happened from back then and now the
You know what I
rule
think it
still
is?
stands.
I think the issue is actually every group of people has a correct moral standing,
perception.
but because there's so much in mixing, the morality has been shifted in so many different directions.
Mhm.
Like I think what's moral for us is probably not what's moral for maybe another group, and that's my personal perspective.
Well, can I go a little bit deeper?
Go ahead.
Just a little bit deeper.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, what if I say all of this shit didn't happen before? What
There's
if I,
nothing new under the sun.
Yeah,
Bang.
nothing new under the sun.
there it is. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Why is that biblical quote prevalent from that then and now, and even after we die, that will still remain? Why is that?
Because through through once again thought. You feel me?
Mhm.
So perception can be taught.
Hmm.
So we teach perceptions to people whether you believe it or not. So like you walk around every day, that average shorty on the corner, well, like you know, from the neighborhood. You feel me?
Right.
I'm pretty sure a lot of them kids in that neighborhood picked up some of the ways that I was putting down,
Yes.
whether I was
Yeah.
teaching them or not.
Mhm.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So
You could get it like that. That's the correct way. But like, say if we go bigger than that.
The brother, the real mob says, "Hey brothers," he said, "Yeah, I mean." Let me go ahead and post that. I like that. Yeah, I mean.
yes, sir.
But yeah, let's go a little deeper than that. The reason why I believe nothing's new under the sun is because everything's been done already. So if we look at it from that perspective and say if I'm right, where are we biblically in the times we're in? Because there's no stopping it until what happened? Jesus came. Or what happened? The flood happened. So it was God that had to stop humanity from itself from destruction. Because we left the habitat beginning the moment we ate from the apple. See? So all of that correlates. So in my opinion, if
the brother IAmYahly Bay says, "Peace, peace,
peace and love, brother."
Peace, bro. So if nothing's new under the sun, where are we at in the biblical timeline?
The brother, the real mom says he's already back. I believe. I don't believe Christ is back, but that's a good conversation to have. We're gonna have to have you on next time. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
You're good. But where are we at if nothing's new under the sun? Let's just play with that hypothetical. If nothing's new under the sun, and I can find references in the Bible that is prevalent to shit today. Like right now, you know not to fuck on a prostitute. Why? Because in the Bible it states not to do that. And it gives you a reason why not to do it. Because you become one with
the prostitute. Thank you.
So
thank you.
If it's prevalent and prevalent then, still today now, and that makes the nothing new under the sun Bible true, Bible quote true. Where are we in the biblical times so we can find out if we can save ourselves? Where are we?
Well, the thing about
real quick, hold that thought. 1 second. Because I know that Brother Dominic says, "Yo, hello guys. All praises. Thank you very much for tuning in." What I want to say is because I know that this brother has I'm not going to use the term different ideological perspective. I'm not going to say that because I wouldn't say it's necessarily per se different. I think we would agree on a lot. But here's the question. The moral standard that God is the authority in the moral standard, as far as not a Christian perspective or what is modernly interpreted as being Christian, but more of a ancient Israelite Torah-keeping, law-keeping perspective, right? We don't believe in the virgin birth, things like that, under that Catholic mythology, right? What do you say in terms of how we're thinking in our alignment, not modernly, right, is to the concept that the Most High is responsible for our system of morality?
Break that down.
That's a great ass question.
So, like, for example, this brother says prostitution is wrong. It's expressed in the Torah, in the Bible. You cannot have prostitute. Specifically, that scripture say there shall be no WHORES in the land of Israel. Specifically, there can be no WHORES in Israel. But that word, it boils down to being prostitute. Right. So that's where our moralistic compass stands. Do you agree with that law? And do you agree with the premise that comes from the Most High?
Well, no, you shouldn't have. I mean, like, as far as, being with a prostitute, I mean, you got to think about what you're doing. I mean, it's your life. And if you don't have any morals, I mean, then, yeah, if that's not morally, a thing that bothers you, no, you don't see nothing wrong with being with a prostitute. With somebody like me, that would be morally insane. Like,
to purchase a prostitute?
Yeah.
For sure.
Why would I do that?
Gotcha.
Like, why would, okay, I understand that's what many men do.
Right.
But that's where, what I'm saying is, that's where you get the punishment because at the end of the day, because that's what they did. And,
which is what Adam did.
Yeah, what wasn't it for you to do? What's your journey? What's your path?
Right.
You feel me?
For sure. I like that.
I mean, like we take away from the world, but
And that's what you're talking about when you express the concept following this principle of correct or incorrect.
yeah,
Just because somebody else did it doesn't mean that this is correct.
yeah, that don't mean that it'll be correct for you. You know, their journey. I mean, like walking through that door.
Right.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second, brothers. Sir Charles Morris shared the live. All praises to the Most High God of our fathers. Thank you, sir, for sharing the live. We really appreciate it. The brother, the real mom, says Jesus saved the prostitute Mary Magdalene. He saved her because there was no one to accuse her. If you know the law, then you understand that that's kind of how that went down. All praises, though, he was able to forgive her because the people that brought her, you know, they were really they weren't keeping the law. They weren't trying to really be righteous for real.
Also, too, how can we judge this woman and we label this woman? You feel me? You can't.
How can we judge? Where's my notes at man?
Yeah.
How can we judge this woman and be laid with
She a hoe now.
But that's why Jesus wrote in the sand and then told these people, anybody that has no sin in them will cast the first stone. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
And no one goes to move. But then if y'all really, really want to dig deep into that, he wrote into the sand before. I can't think of man, I missed that point off.
Yeah,
of
he
that.
did that. He
Yes.
was always kind of like
But it was a
wistfully
reference.
aloof.
But
But it was a reference to something that happened in the OT. I don't
Exactly.
remember
Yeah.
exactly what it was. I think it was something Ezekiel related. Ezekiel
December,
related.
man, it's gonna hit me. But to go with what you was just saying, yes, life is about. That's how I said life is about perspective. Because if you ask what I believe in, I'm gonna tell you that I'm a believer. I'm not a Christian or I want to say what Hebrew Israelite or any of these labels. I'm not that. I'm a sole believer in God Himself. So whatever comes with God, I believe. So if God is the Word and Word is God, which is written, that's what I believe. So I am a 100% believer of the Holy Scriptures, the text itself, saying that even in exaggeration, I believe it's true and how it is.
Okay.
And now with this perspective, I can be able to break this down to you.
Right.
So if you ask my opinion on with the answer to the question, like where are we at?
Right.
There was a time where everyone spoke one language. There was a time that everybody did come into agreement on one project. And that project was what? The Tower of Babel. What consisted in that? What was the story?
The Tower of Babel?
Yeah.
What consisted in the Tower of Babel?
Or no, not in it, like not the contents of it. Like, what was the story? Do you know the story?
The real mob says facts. Me too. All praises. Do I know the story of the Tower of Babel?
Yes.
Yes.
You probably can explain it better than
after the period of Adam and Eve, Adam gets sent out of the garden.
Yes.
And then the Lord. Oh, you want to? Yeah. There you go, brother. Yeah.
My bad, go ahead.
So they get out of the. Long story short, I'll make it brief. They start to populate.
If you could,
yeah,
break it down because
I got you. Okay.
The way how I'm gonna say this,
yeah,
needs that explanation.
For sure. Okay. So they populate the earth, and then they're like, okay, we're one people. Let's build a tower. Now people debate about what the tower actually was. If it was an actual tower to the Most High or whatever there, or if it was a metaphor for trying to be like the Most High. People debate that.
Right.
So we don't have a clear understanding like we do about what the trees were in the garden pursuant to what Daniel explained.
Right.
So the Lord is like, these Negroes is at it again. If I let them continue with this tower, who knows what they can do? Because a lot of people don't pay attention. I lost my point. Hold on, give me a second. I lost my point. A lot of people don't pay attention to what it was that happened in the garden in the first place.
Right.
But they're building this tower. The Lord is like, these fellows are at it again. If I leave them to their own devices, who knows what they're going to be capable of? Because we were already in a state of wickedness. We were already in a state of unrighteousness. So if we would have used our power to build up that tower, whatever that tower was, it would have been built on the premise of wickedness.
Which that's the reason why we suffer today, because we have always had the same problems that we always had.
Almost
There was
popped my water bottle.
Like people, the theory that y'all think, we think that like 12 white dudes ran up on the people like, oh yeah, get on this boat. That's so far-fetched, you know?
Right.
They actually came in, times of war. They actually came in, and instigated stuff.
Right.
Things between different,
Different
tribes,
groups.
different groups, different, creeds.
Right.
They brought what they came to do. The prophecy said that they were going to divide the people, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
So
the people had to be divided, man. The people had to be divided.
Yes.
And
so
I'll say this, and I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna say this because we gotta hold our breath sometimes, because that's the way it was set up.
Yeah.
It was people here before Adam. Adam had to be separated from them people, because who knows what them people had going on, what they was up to.
Exactly.
And when you get it, like I was breaking down today, and I'm gonna be quiet after this. I know you're trying to go on.
No, you good.
But when Daniel breaks down the vision that Nebuchadnezzar has in his lifetime, that's when you find out that the trees in the garden are a metaphor for people groups, and that apple was knowledge from the wrong group of people. The Lord said we can take any information from any people group, but them Negroes over there, y'all got to stay away from them. So that serpent represented a person or people from that people group that came to deceive. Some people say the people called Adam or the man Adam. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. But mind you, for that's perspective. Because we're reading the same Bible, but he just came up with a totally different story than I would have came up with out of the same exact text. So you have to understand perspective in itself in order to understand the man. So guess what? You think people are really taking the time out of their day to really understand someone else's perspective, but they can't even understand theirs fully.
That's right.
But see, that's where you got to the change that we expect from the world. We got to start being.
Exactly.
That's why I said you have to concern yourself with like the concerns of other people and how
that can go wrong,
and how we carry on.
True, but that can go wrong because the Tower of Babel tells you that. Watch this. Mind you, he just told you the story what the Tower of Babel is, and I'm going to tell you the reasoning behind it, like the deeper in it. There was 3 different sectors of people that wanted to do different things when they made it to the top.
Right.
So, mind you, I just told you it's 3 different sectors, so we already divided. So the division part, there it is. But mind you, all of these people, this is a black man and a white man speaking the same exact language.
So the real mob says, folks was being nosy and trying to find God to see what God was, if God was real or not, to say God ain't real or God is real.
Not only that, to replace him if he was there, to fight whatever was up there, they shot arrows. And God deceived them and let them arrows come down with blood.
He said,
make
like
me feel
the
like
Wizard of Oz. Sorry, go ahead, brother.
But here's the thing: when you go looking for stuff, you find it, right?
Right.
So what once again, that's why I said there's action for every there's a reaction for every action.
That's right.
Once you do something, once it's put out there, once it's in the ether, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
You can't take that back.
That's right.
So once you can't, I've taken the cake off.
Right.
It's not my job or responsibility to property you, brother. We grown men, right?
Right.
So if you're not living to what you're supposed to be, capability is something we're both capable of. Success, right?
True.
So if you're not living up to your best, I'm not going to receive punishment because you're not. I'm not going to live poorly because you choose not to, be responsible for yourself. You're going to go through that.
That's right.
You
feel me?
Absolutely right.
I mean, that's that.
That is literally
spare nickel, spare dime mentality.
Watch this. Say if you put everybody in humanity all in one space, wouldn't it be a natural division between those people?
If you put all of humanity in one space,
and they all speak the same language,
we would collectively decide, no, we're this group. You can see that at work. I know you work in a factory environment.
Oh, yes, sir.
People click up in these environments all the time.
So look at the Tower of Babel.
Right.
You have all of humanity come into one sector for one project.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say if it was a tower to make it all the way to heaven,
Mm-hmm.
that means generation after generation after generation has participated in this.
Right.
So that means that these niggas is working together, black, white, Chinese, indifferent, Mexican, don't matter. They all are one motherfucker.
That's right.
Nobody understood it. Nobody had no culture or anything like that. Nobody was Japanese or anything like that at this time.
Yeah.
They were all this.
It was
The
just all one
perspectives
group.
had to be taught.
Yeah.
So
No. There was no perspective. That's what I'm telling you. When I
So
say
it was definitely perspective. Because here's it, and I'm gonna explain why I believe it was perspective.
Mhm.
So when you make it through the scripture, there's an event that happens. There's an event that happens where a particular prophet is praying to the Most High. He says, "Man, we gotta get up out of here. We need some help, Lord." So the Lord says, "I'm going to send the angel Michael to the Prince of Persia."
Right.
The Prince of Persia resists the angel for, I think it's 21 days.
yeah, they fought.
They fought. Here's the thing. What does that mean? How do you break that mystery down? Have you ever been in a scenario where you're saying, where you are compelled, you're convicted, there's something in your soul that says, I need to go do this, but I just don't want to.
Yeah.
That's that experience
Mhm.
that the Prince of Persia was having with the spirit, because what was happening with that spirit was Michael was going to end up causing him to be destroyed. In any case, long story short, the scenario was what we're fighting.
Mhm.
But go ahead.
Right,
Go ahead.
but mind you, I just told you it's perspective, right?
Yeah.
So I'm giving you mine. So peep game. This is my perspective on how this should work.
Yeah.
So you have all of humanity coming into one hub,
Yeah.
and out of that hub
Where did the trick go?
created division
Yeah.
naturally.
Mhm.
You got the workers, then you got the workers of the work. I mean, you got the people that control those workers, managers, and then now you got the CEOs of those people. And then, like I said, to define those people, you could find out the ambition. Then I just tell you that it was 3 different sectors of motherfuckers that had different reasons of why they wanted to go to heaven.
That's right.
That means the workers want to go to heaven to do this, the CEO to do that,
Yeah.
and the managers want to go to heaven to do that. Same shit, different toilet, right?
For sure.
So let's keep it going. I'm sorry. Let's keep it going. One quick. So everybody's speaking one language. Guys see this shit, and you would think this is a good thing, right?
Mhm.
No. That means now you have to have somebody at the top. And now if everybody's in unison and everybody speaks language and everybody agrees
Yeah.
with the idea of going up here to do this,
Mhm.
it ain't he's scared of the power that he gave you.
Right.
This is God. He's the creator of you. He's scared of what you're going to put on yourself.
That's right.
So he did what? Divided everybody and made a culture for yourself. So now you got this half of motherfuckers that's Japanese. You got this half of motherfuckers that's Mexican. You got this half of people that's black. You got this. And that is what I mean by that, and put it into perspective today.
Mhm.
Everybody has different cultures, but where is the one place that everybody has the same language?
That's a good question.
The internet.
Oh, gee, the internet.
The internet.
Everybody doesn't talk.
There's a
about
girl
it.
in Japan right now that looks exactly like a girl in America. The
that
internet.
looks like a girl in America. You
Makeup.
mean?
I'm talking
you
about
mean
from the
like the way
aesthetic.
she Okay.
The culture, the language. See what I'm saying? When I say language, I mean
The cultural expression.
the cultural expression.
The image. The image.
Yes.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is the internet is where everybody has a common agreement.
Mhm.
That everybody has an agreement that they should have their opinion.
Yeah.
That is on the internet.
Which is okay to have an opinion, but you gotta
To what end?
Yeah, I agree with that. To what end?
I mean,
to what end does your opinion matter?
Your-
I've started. My bad. Go ahead.
Your opinion matters to the point to to what it pertains to the situation.
Mhm.
As far as the internet is concerned,
As far as
mind you,
all right,
like you just,
we all got social medias, right?
Yeah.
This brother got a social media to network and connect with other streamers. I got a social media to keep in contact with my family.
Right.
You probably do. You YouTube
YouTube.
as well.
Wisdom
So,
TV3.
I don't.
Yeah, link that. Wisdom TV3.
Yeah.
Wisdom TV3.
See,
If you're not following Wisdom TV3, I don't know what you're doing. My bad. Go ahead.
You see how y'all objectives are different than mine. I mean, like I probably never use my social media but no more than saying what's up to a couple people that I know.
Exactly.
You know?
Watch this. Do me, him, and you gotta follow the same rules, or we will get kicked off the internet?
Yeah, kind of.
Then what the hell are we talking about here? We're not talking about the same language, but we are talking the same language. We better not say nothing outside of what the fuck these people gave us the permission to do so.
Yeah.
So just imagine that. Say if the Tower of Babel was successful, it would have to have a leader to run it, and everybody had to be in accordance with that leader.
That's
but who
right.
was the leader before at that time?
For that point
King
in time,
Nebuchadnezzar.
purpose.
Wasn't it King Nebuchadnezzar the ruler at that time?
But everything serves its purpose. But
Everything,
nothing's here for a long time. So that
Right.
towers did what it did, right? It housed those people. They kept their secrets, their knowledge, their central intelligence. They kept all of that within inside those walls. But here's the thing: when something is growing, you can't no longer contain it inside its small, container.
Absolutely. So you got to divide it.
That just like all right, cool. That now I gotta destroy this, and then it's never a good process to the end of something.
So let me ask the question: if we know the outcome of what happened to the Tower of Babel, so we come to an agreement that is the similar case, right?
Yeah.
That, like you just said, this got to be destroyed. It has to be, or it won't have a means to an end in a way. It won't have a point.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like we'll all be under a dictatorship of somebody else that's not God. So God himself had knocked down the whole tower.
Right.
So let's ask this question. If we agree that the internet and the Tower of Babel is kind of similar in any way, form, or fashion.
I could see to some degree the internet being a symbolic Tower of Babel.
Let's play with it.
Because it's all where we all
because it's the thing that gave us a unified purpose.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yes.
I can see that.
So
So
I use social media. That's
right. Yeah.
To connect with people. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I can get that.
I don't want to not relate to you. I want to speak the same language you speak.
Yeah.
In some way, shit. I want to have a friend.
Right, for sure. What do you think about that, Johnny? How you use social media?
I use social media for promotion.
For sure,
To
okay.
get the word out there.
Yeah.
I think social media is a very powerful tool to use in that aspect. I think we just as people take it and use it something totally different.
Yeah.
I've had a thought about that before. I was like, what if we all got together and use social media for advancing our word? Because you think about like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, they didn't have social media. They had newspaper, word of mouth, and things like that. If they had social media, they would do so much with it. And then I got to thinking like, what if the people who created social media ever thought about us using it and being a force with it? I think they have, but I think they know that we would never do that. Because we can never all join together to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, can I say, like I said, let's play with the hypothetical. We know the end of what happened to the Tower of Babel. Everybody got separated. Everybody had a culture. So now what happened after that? If you, as an American, mind you, this is probably like a couple hundred years afterwards. So let's just play with the hypothetical. You, as an American, right after the Tower of Babel shit had happened, go to Japan. These niggas don't speak none of the shit you talking about. You don't know shit. So you have to have an ultimate appreciation period just to live there, just to be in the space.
Right. That's the art of discovery.
So wouldn't that have a more profound feeling than you being able to just scroll on your shit and then just like how anything else? Wouldn't that be more profound? Wouldn't it have a more effect on the heart?
Right.
I mean, curiosity is something that it's a human design. I mean, yes, we're gonna have curiosity for other things outside of us.
Right.
It's nothing that can be controlled.
Right.
And then it's nothing holding you in one spot. Only your mind.
Exactly.
If you want to go see another culture, the only thing you got to go do is move your feet.
I'm glad you're explaining why God did that then. That's the sole thing. Because if we had that hub, where's the excitement? Where's the exploring? Where is the appreciation when I can go next door and get the shit? Right. But I can scroll and then. So that's why I asked the question. if the internet is the Tower of Babel and the Tower of Babel got destroyed,
I mean,
what the fuck the internet like what is going to stop the internet?
The internet is undefeated.
See?
Nobody else will be able to beat that.
So if we just said if the Power of Babel kept on going and never got destroyed, it would have went to a means to an end. No means to an end.
Right.
When the internet
Then what the fuck is going to happen?
There's a lot of stuff going after it. So
yeah,
it's going to have to go back to ground zero. But here's the thing, and that's what we're here for.
Right.
You're here for a short time, not a long time.
Or whatever Drake said.
It's not going to be forever. You're here to do what you're here to do, and then you will transition on to the next state. I know there's a reason why nobody can come back from the dead and explain to you what happened. You ever seen a person get up out their grave and come back and like, oh yeah, well this is what you got to look
Not
for.
ever.
So once it's over, it's over.
Right.
So
exactly.
to sit back dwelling on like what or how this shit move.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason why I say you have to be the change
and
you want to see in the world.
And that's what brings us back to the crux of the topic. Because the topic is, excuse me, that Long Island. That's the crux of the topic. You have to be the change you want to see. We can't focus on everybody's effect. Now, my personal belief system, I'm an ethnocentrist. I'm going to care about you and Mr. Johnny before I care about whoever else might be out there in the world.
Yes,
you know? And so that's my personal perspective. That's how I live life. And but we as a collective, maybe not so much us, but we're born into a people group. Some could say we're occupied. We don't have our own land. Mm-hmm. We don't have our own will to affect one another from our own sovereignty. And so in an environment like that, how do we put ourselves in a position to repair each other? And last but not least, real quick, 1 second, the real mob says, what if they were trying to put satellites in the firmament to connect with the rest of the planet?
Who said that? Hey, I fucks with folks. Because they shot the arrows in the air.
They did shoot them arrows in the air.
Come on, think about it. Think about what I'm saying.
I look at that like conspiracy theory.
They throwing missiles in the air. Missiles got a point, like an arrow has a point. Stop playing with me.
I don't know.
Like, come on, we can get real dark here.
That's the problem. People think that they can control this. It's not yours to control. It was here before. Nobody can tell you when it started. Everybody can only tell you when they got here and when they arrived. That's the only thing we'll ever be able to know about this planet.
I disagree. Because if it's a Bible here that explains everything before you and after you, then what? Then am I supposed to only go off of my own personal experience? Because like I said, if you're willing to die behind
but that same feeling you got, another person from another practice also feel that same way.
Exactly.
So that's why we couldn't just go off of one practice. So because just like how you all right, so say the Christian come in and well I feel like okay, so now we're back in that whole loop of chaos. Reason why I'm saying that change that you want to see in the world, you have to be exactly that. You got to move a certain way. You feel me? The problem with us as grown men is the fact that of what we pay attention to. You feel me? Right. Like it's not the next brother's job to pacify you or coddle you or none of that. You have the same capabilities as that brother. So even if we take it and apply that to civilizations, you feel me? Civilizations have the same right to go and learn the same things that other civilizations have learned.
That's right.
There's nothing stopping you. You feel me? Other than you. You feel me?
Yeah. Right, but okay. Hypothetical, right? Kid in the hood, never seen rich anything in his life, but want to be rich. What advice would you give that kid based off of what you're saying right now? Like off of your own experience, what advice would you give?
I mean, that kid hella advice.
Like
the one thing I can the main part of advice I can get is most definitely don't go pick up a gun and don't try to sell drugs.
Right, but listen to what I'm saying. He asking you for advice based off of your personal experiences, and I'm not trying to, like, you know what I mean? But like,
personal experience.
You have to be a rich person for him to believe you.
Oh,
you feel what I'm saying? Like, think about it. You're not gonna ask. You're not gonna ask a fisherman.
Yeah, you know what my dad used to say before you go. Let me tell you what my father used to say. He used to say that when he went into a doctor's office, he would ask the doctor what grades he got at school. And if he got anything less than B's, he wouldn't. He would ask for it.
Here's the thing, you know, it also take those guys from it's gonna take guys from the streets to deal with them kids from the streets. You feel me? Great minds think alike. You know, only gangsters can relate to gangsters. I can't send the brother from the college university out there to talk to this shorty who's 12 and a whole hitter. He'll knock his wig off.
That's right.
I'm gonna say that from that perspective of one of them brothers from the streets. You feel me? From that demonstration. So and that's a false that we can't talk to these shorties. They will listen to you. You feel me? You just gotta come like that.
Yeah, you gotta be tough enough. And when we go out street teaching, you know, we do the ministry, the street teaching on Western, you know, and some of the brothers will be like, they talking about God, but they cussing. They be telling us God, K-I-L-L, you know what I'm saying? Like, but when you break that barrier of like, oh, well, we gonna beat him up and they ain't go nowhere, then the dynamic is like, okay. So what's going on there? What you got to talk about? Because they're coming from a different person. They're just coming from a hard environment.
Exactly.
Is you giving them something that they want to know, or is this something that you're trying to bring to them as a new experience?
Yeah, so my thing, and I know you were talking, I'm going to say this and I'm going to be quiet. My thing is when we go out there and teach, we're giving them information that they require to get out of the falsehood that was taught to them. And so when you're doing that, there's a certain level of, I don't want to hear that. I'm making money doing this. I don't know any other way. That you have to break beyond, and that comes with difficulty. It's just going to come with a certain nature of difficulty.
But that's why I'm saying you got to be that change. See, I had to go through what I had to go through to make those changes from being that shorty to being who I am at 33 years old. Ain't no way at 33 years old I should still be throwing up crew set signs and stuff like that. So I'm bringing that,
let me tell you
change. I'm living what I'm talking. You feel me?
Let me tell y'all something about this brother that I won't say, but I'm gonna just say I've known this brother for some years, and this brother is that brother. Let me say that and be quiet.
Right. I understand.
I ain't always been like that.
Exactly, and I get that. Like I said, I'm a man of thought, so I challenge not the person but the thought.
For sure.
Like go with, like, you got to really hear it to understand it.
For sure.
You wanted that change, did you?
Oh yeah, but all things come to an end. I said that though.
Exactly. Right.
It has to outgrow that container that is in it. My thirst for change, I had to get to a point to where I desperation for it. You feel me?
Right.
So I had to seek it.
That's right.
Exactly. So like I said, now I can say this. I always said this when I have kids. I don't have kids yet, but when I have kids, I always wanted to bring this one lesson to them.
For sure.
Be the man that hear the thing the first time. Hear the lesson the first time.
I need to hear
Read
that.
the writing on the wall.
And you know, my father used to tell me
That's good.
That shit tough. It's not easy. It's not
Man.
exactly, because now that's what I'm saying. Instead of making moves out of desperation, you're making moves out of not even experience. No one else. You don't even have somebody else's experience.
That's right.
I mean, you was just that. Somebody told you don't go across the street. Shit, I got hit by a car. You gonna go.
But all right, come on, bro. You gotta understand our neighborhood, the neighborhood we came from.
Trust me.
You feel me?
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, nigga, we grew up in the same block. I know. That's why I'm like, bro. I know. That's why I'm like, bro.
Okay, so even that. Look at the many people that friend group that we grew up with.
Exactly.
We'll always be at the court. Look how everybody turned out differently. Everybody used to be at the court, but everybody was doing something different
Right.
after they would leave that court that landed them to where they are today.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Right, but that didn't come without hardship, pain, trial, error, the whole nine. But like I just said, what about this? What if that nigga listened the first time? Would his life be?
Man.
What would it be? That's what I'm saying. Why not exercise that thought?
Right.
Why not put that to perspective instead of practicing what everybody's already been doing? And of course, I can tell a nigga struggle until you make it. Fuck that. But what if I tell the same nigga? Fuck struggling. Look at how everybody struggle and don't do what the fuck they do.
That's
What are you gonna do? Never go to these niggas for advice at all. But what the other dude gonna do? The first dude gonna do? Go to the nigga that told him that, ask for advice. And what he gonna do? Go off of the experience he had. And if that nigga had the same experience this nigga had, 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 you got a whole group of motherfuckers that can teach you how to do it the wrong way.
Right. Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? Until you want to know the right way.
Right.
And then when you find out the right way, guess what you're going to do? The same thing the first nigga did the first time. Listen to the dude the first time. And guess what? Now you starting from behind. Right. You got all of this shit that you fucked up in that you got to refix first before you become the nigga you want to be.
Right.
That's why I'm like, it's a tough game. I get it. And I learned that on my own. I was out of the crib 15, so I was in this shit. So I know. Right. And now I'm 29, so and I have my own shit for a long. You know, motherfuckers know. So
I didn't know y'all was linked up,
bro. Yes. Right over here. Right now, trust me, I know. I'm like, dude. That's why I'm like, this conversation between me and him. That's why I'm like, bro, this is I come from the same spot. It's a new. It's not like I found a new light, but this is the light we already had.
Right.
Yeah. It's just. I was privileged enough to have the time, you know what I'm saying, and less distraction to get to this point of mentality. So then I can tell you, nigga, you don't gotta struggle to make it, nigga. Oh, you don't. In order to be a real nigga or to a successful nigga in anybody's eyes, you can literally just do it this way, which is the simple way, which is always been here for you. You just gotta want to know it.
You gotta want to know that.
That's
you gotta
what
want
we're
it.
here for. We gotta teach you too. You know, we gotta be that change that we want these shorties to be. I can't be sitting out. That's what I'm saying. I can't be still out here saying like leave the streets alone, but I'm out here in the streets. Right. So I gotta show the shorties a different image. I gotta be. It gotta be.
But shit, I disagree. I disagree.
Well, you disagree with which part?
Well, he just said.
So he just said he got to leave the streets alone to teach them to get up.
Okay, because watch this.
Okay, I'm about to hear.
I'm not saying because I'm in those same streets. I'm not saying that I'm better than you in any way, but I'm not doing none of the shit you're doing in those streets. I can be the example in the streets for you to how to maneuver in the streets.
So when you say being in the streets, you're talking about gang.
I'm talking about the ones that's way far gone past the ones that just need
right. But when you say
those
in the streets,
that we focus a lot of time and energy on. I'm talking about that shorty who ain't trying to hear none of that.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the far gone guy. Then I'm talking about the far guy gone. How do you change him? You leave the streets.
Look, what's his example? I'm sorry to say this. I'm sorry to say this. I'm about to say this right now. And the difference between that brother and you. You say you're that brother, but the spirit came and got
his ass.
So sometimes you gotta love brothers and let the spirit take them out, and sometimes you gotta let them Negroes go to the wayside.
But that's the one, and that's what I'm saying.
But once you do unto others what you want done for yourself, right? So if you need a way out, and you become that way out, you are now the example of the way out, right? So you come from we know, you know what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is you. You gonna take the streets with you to the suburbs if you got rich.
Real quick,
you sure you're not? About your culture.
As far as one second, family. IAmYahly Bay says I'll be on the next show or soon. All praises. We'll love to have you, brother. Come on the show, man. We'll love to have you. The next one is about gang culture, the development of gang culture. It's a brother that me and you know. I won't say his name until I figure out if he's gonna be on or not. and then I want you on that, and I want that brother on that, maybe one other brother. Law and Faith simply says you got to leave the street activities alone to help influence change. All praises. Let me put that up there. I agree. I love you, brother, but I agree with that one.
Right. What I'm saying is, okay, it's like this, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like I said, it's perspective. It's hard.
Absolutely.
The far gone guy ain't gonna notice you leaving. The far gone guy is not gonna notice you left the streets.
But do you think that that's his judgment?
Exactly. It's not his judgment. It's not his call. It's not nothing.
No, not his call. Do you think that that's his divine punishment?
Who?
That he can't see when the people around him are leaving.
You gotta want to know it.
No, I agree.
Right. So I'm talking about the guy that wants to know that's too far gone. Are we talking about the guys that don't want to know?
You're saying you're talking about the guy that's too far gone.
But
I'm saying what'd you say?
It wants to know.
Oh, too far gone and wants to know. My
Yeah.
bad. But I don't think that's too far gone. If it's something in you that's calling you that say, I'm wrestling with something.
Have you ever seen a person pay all his bills with nothing but drug money and then come out of nowhere and finally got a job for the first time in his life? Have you ever seen that? Okay. Let's work then. Was that not a different experience? Did that not feel different? Wasn't you pissed when you got done working 2 weeks?
Yeah,
and you got with your 2 week for 3 days?
It's a different experience though.
But you
at the
wanted
end of the
it.
day, I would rather go through with that way than the other way. Because
why?
Because
you want it this way. You want it changed.
Yeah.
And you've seen an example of that way somewhere around here.
Now I had to actually latch on to a brother. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I had to see, once you got to be the change that you want to see in the world. That brother, who's a former, Blackstone. I saw that brother.
Oh, see, this is what he's saying.
11.
Listen to what he's saying. This is what I'm saying.
Old.
He's a former Blackstone. So meaning he didn't leave the streets. He's a former Blackstone.
Yeah,
There's a Blackstone that's in the game now that can look at him and know that he came from that spot. That's what I mean.
But you would have to know him
from being in the joints.
Yeah,
so, I get it exactly.
But what made me latch on to that brother is seeing where he came from. Okay, I see that you could do it. All the other brothers was going to jail and stuff like that. Yeah, he was doing the same thing.
So how did he leave it for real? If you could recognize him, street man.
My brother was always cutting hair. You feel me? He was always cutting
part of the community.
You feel me? As a matter of fact, you probably
know his face, don't you?
Yeah. And a lot of people would look at that brother and how he is today and never see.
You said your brother?
No, he's a good brother. This is who I picked up. I exercised those good patterns from.
Right.
You feel me? Because once again, like I said, I could have followed the other brothers. All the other brothers.
Law and Faith Assembly says the streets always notice who are in the streets and who aren't.
Yeah,
that's facts. That's facts.
So once that brother, he came to he started growing up, and I want to follow I'm getting older now.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I don't have guidance. I don't have no direction. So yeah, I follow the pack.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you see somebody else, like take that quick left, it's like, okay, so what you doing and why you go that way?
Right.
And why you starting to separate yourself from them? That sparked that curiosity in me.
That's right.
To want to pursue what he was doing.
Right.
So bro kind of downplayed me for years as a young, like, all right, you ain't ready, but when you ready, I'm gonna explain it to you. So it took for me to put myself in a position to where I had to reach on latch on this brother to get me out and some other people too. So
right, but could I ask you a question? Did you find relatability in him?
Yeah.
Like, did you see yourself in him?
Yeah.
So if that's what I mean by, like, street people recognize street people. Mm-hmm. The streets never leave you. You never leave the streets for real. No. You still use tactics from the streets and do it in corporate. So when did the streets leave? Then when did the streets leave you?
You have to be that change. You got to change the game. You got to change with it. Change.
But this is what I'm saying. Why didn't you look at the store owner down the street as the guy that
that's a good question. Why do you feel like that wasn't?
He don't look like me.
And I was he doesn't look like you. He doesn't look like us.
Mm-hmm.
And when you try to interact with them, gain knowledge, wisdom, understanding from them, they reject you.
They're not going to.
Because they can't relate to you.
Give it to
Right.
you,
So
but
what I'm
they're
saying
not
is,
give it to you in a way that you can be as successful.
Let me say this real quick. I worked at a U.S. Cellular on Knoxville. Y'all remember that old U.S. Cellular from some years ago?
yeah.
Okay. The owner of the place, his name was Mo. I don't feel bad for saying his name because he was an evil person. You know, I won't wish anything bad on him in public, but certainly in private. Mm-hmm. In any case, I saw an Arab company come into the shop one day, cell phone store. Mm-hmm. They whispering, but you know, I'm nosy, so I'm paying a little attention.
Yeah.
He's whispering about some business venture he's trying to get going. But in the middle of that conversation, I hear the owner of the store that I work at, he said, "Are they Arab?" And that stuck with me forever. Years ago, that stuck with me when my daughter was born, that happened. Mm. That stuck with me forever. "Are they Arab?" The guy says, "Yes," but they're whispering it. And he says, "Okay, we'll go up the street," because it wasn't something he was wanting, but he was saying, "Go up the street. They might mess with you." Mm-hmm. So we got to understand, like, when we talk about this topic of, are we ruining ourselves? Yeah. This is one of the ways that the other groups, they get ahead because they compete in a realm of, we're still together, but we're going to compete. We competing, we're together, though. We don't hate each other, but we're competing.
They know how to cut it on and cut it off.
They know how to cut it on and cut it off.
Let me ask you a question. Where's the leaving part?
The leaving part? What you mean? Hold on 1 second. The Law and Faith Assembly says, hold on, let's load it. False equivalence, corporate methods use street principles every day. Most people who are in corporate America are never in the streets.
Bang!
I like that. Okay.
Bang!
Interesting. Okay.
They don't know they're getting game brand on their ass. They don't even know. But let me ask the question again.
Angelique, sit down. Come sit with us. You want some Long Island? We still got a few shots left.
Yeah.
But, it's cups before you sit down, right there behind you on the thing. I get up, but I might fall over. Law and Faith Assembly. The streets, he says, the streets also use biblical principles. I'd agree.
Oh,
Jesus has
depending on where you at.
So what he means by, because I know this brother. So what he means is, like, for example, do I want to say this on the live?
Do it gangster.
I might not want to say this on the live. I'm gonna do it.
We'll try to keep it as clean as possible.
I'm not gonna say it on the live. If the brother Law and Faith simply want to give me an example, he can give me an example, and I'll say it on the live. Miss Angelique.
Hey.
I like the hair. How you doing?
Good.
You always got them shades. I love them glasses. I gotta say it every time. How you feeling?
I'm doing good.
Did I ask you that already? I done had like 20 shots already today. I don't remember what I was drinking at 10 o'clock this morning.
Got the party started early, huh?
Man. He said he be drinking. What'd you say?
I like drinking in the morning sometimes.
For sure. Day drinking. That's what they call it. It's called day drinking, right? It's my last shot.
Day drinking.
Yeah, but my question was, where's the leaving part for them? I've seen 20 Mexicans live in one crib.
Yeah.
And then in like 5 years, them 20 turned into 10. Yeah. 10 turned into 5.
For sure.
5 and guess where they at? On the same block.
Yeah.
All they did was buy all the houses.
They buy up the block. Yeah. There's something with us though. We don't want to do that. What you say?
And they become a community.
It is then now they got a community.
But they also know how to come and they know how to, like serve their time and move on.
Yeah.
We don't know how to do that.
Right.
So the same brother go out there and be out there for like ever.
Doing what?
Selling drugs.
Yeah, you be like, you see brothers sometimes.
I mean, like, we can go to our old neighborhood, bro, and be like, what up?
Brother 72.
Everybody left.
72 years old, still selling nickel bags on the corner.
I get it, but I'm talking about even the guys that stopped doing that and realized that they have a better life and the whole exact line, them exact guys bailed. So where are they at to face the community?
They did bail.
They gone.
Bail.
So
That's
what
true.
are we talking about here? Are you saying that we gonna, as an individual, become a better person, leave, and then whenever you find the time to come back to your community to fix it, that's when you would do something.
Hold on 1 second. I rock with that. I really vibe with that information that you're bringing out. But real quick, I got 2 points to make. The first point is, Miss Angelique, welcome. The topic is, are we ruining ourselves? That's the topic we're talking about today.
You can ruin yourself or build yourself. That's all it
She
is.
always got some, what's the word? Metaphysical, spiritual. You can ruin yourself or build yourself. And I think my big brother Wizard has a time allotment. We're approaching 6:30, 6:20 right now. I don't know what that looks like for
How long you gonna go?
I'm probably not going to stop until it gets boring.
If the conversation's still solid, 7.
For sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
nah,
cool.
I'm
Oh, praises. Well, we got the brother till 7. Y'all good?
Yeah, because this is, to me, it's important
Yeah.
to understand the mentality of
Yeah.
where we're talking about here.
Mhm.
Because if we want to talk about a group, we're not talking individual anymore.
Yeah.
So, regardless of what you do,
Yeah.
you're not contributing to the group.
Uh-huh.
But you do have an opinion about it, right?
Mhm.
You can say that you're doing better than what everybody else did, and I can be the example for them. But if you're not teaching them how to get to where you are at, what are you saying for real?
Yeah.
Also,
If you're not teaching them to get to where you're at, what for real?
people gotta also want to pick up what you put down.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So what I'm saying is, if they want to know,
Yeah.
there's no reason for me to have to do anything other than give them what they want.
Uh-huh.
If they want to know about God, they're
Yeah.
going to come to me as gangster as they are with guns, packs, all sorts of shit. And I'm not going to tell them to, at this point in time, hey, man, you should drop this shit because Jesus don't like that. No,
Right.
Jesus loved the fact that you came to me to want to find out about him. So on your own fruition, you're going to drop the guns. On your own fruition, you're going to drop the weed. On your own fruition, you're going to do all this shit because of your love for God, not because I told you to.
Right. Yeah.
You
That's
got
right.
love for the world.
You got love for. Angelique, I told y'all she always got the quips
But that brings back to what I said. You gotta be the change
that you want
you want
to
to see in this world.
You gotta want it.
So
this is the only brother I ever known to be able to say cliche things, but it sounds good. And I got a bone to pick with my big brother Johnny over there. I don't drink that much. You just see me drink a few times. We had 2 bottles. They are definitely gone. I just got live access for TikTok, so I had to celebrate.
Are you doing something else?
Man, I just told my wife to bring some more along.
Like this stuff, like y'all talking about, it really excites me. Like
Yeah.
I be fulfilled. Like
Yeah.
I'm not hungry at all. Like just like finally,
That's the spirit.
like
That's
building
yeah.
a kingdom
Man.
is the most important thing,
Right.
especially these times today.
For sure.
Because when nature is unbalanced,
Mhm.
it's nobody to confront.
Yeah.
You know, everything, the tribulations that's going on.
Mm.
Because everybody is lost without hope. If you don't have hope within something, you have nothing to hold on to.
If you don't have hope, you have nothing to hold on. Where's my
Notes
notes?
have to have something to believe in.
You stand for something or you fall for anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what's unfortunately what's happening with our youth. And and we starting to see generations follow suit because everybody living backwards instead of.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying. How do you move
Yeah.
forward? Like, how do you move forward with bad brakes or bad engine or a bad car or a bad generation?
So you
or
said we
bad
got to rebuild
anything?
our foundation.
The
You
image of
have to
God is
find out
really
the root.
important. Yeah.
You have to find out the root of the problem first in order to start the damn car.
Right.
Everybody want to take off of what they think they know. When the whole time. What you say?
That's accountability.
Thank you. So, but no one's taking accountability for shit until it hit the fan. And then when it hit the fan, it's too late for your accountability. Of course, you're going to say sorry. The shit's over.
Yeah.
Feel me? So what I'm saying is, how can anyone promote any type of change if they're not even accountable for their own actions?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
true.
everybody painting over the shit, and then they looking at a picture and thinking that is the picture until you actually walk into the view of that motherfucker and find out
Right.
that this isn't a goddamn.
It's illusion.
Right.
Yeah.
But I noticed everybody don't get that chance. Like the dead homies, they didn't get that chance.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
No, I mean like
There's always a chance in front of you, but you gotta see it.
You got to see it. You got to
One
want to
other
see
thing
it.
to simply
You got
say,
to see it.
But you got the ones out here like me who got that chance, and it's like, okay, cool. Something in my stomach was like, oh, yeah, don't
You
go.
wanted it.
What's the saying? The blind can't lead the
But
blind.
Thank you. You wanted that shit. So it went.
Yeah,
Once
so
you
the
wanted
one-
change, you went for change. Once I wanted God, I went straight to God.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But I gotta want God.
Law of faith and simply says
Basically,
you got to
like-
tell them what God requires of them when they come to you, or else what's the point of them coming? Also, that's the only way they'll know what the Most High
But
requires.
what's that one saying? Seek the kingdom of God that's within you.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically, when I seek for myself, like because man can trick you. You know, it's all illusions outside yourself. So when it was saying it to me, I wasn't fulfilled. Like, what are you talking about? It's a question, but when you seek it, it's
Yes,
clarity.
because I understand exactly what they're saying, but did I want that as a gangster? Did I
seek
want
ye
that?
first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. That righteousness, though, is the commandments. You gotta keep the commandments.
But you got to seek it first.
I know.
You gotta
Yeah.
want
That
it.
we at this point, because all right,
Because light is dark, and it's like value of light. Because I said darkness can form anything to the mind. So like, if
Darkness. Where's my notes at?
I just wrote a poem about this, and basically, as darkness is nature, you know, like,
Oh my God! Wait a minute.
and then the
You did some
animal
shit.
state of you. So like,
Darkness is the animal. I just closed.
Darkness
my notes
is the
Y'all
animal,
gotta slow
yeah.
down, man.
so
She finna hit some shit.
we are light. That's why we're not of the world. We are the light.
Light. Exactly.
Yeah. So we shine light to form the world,
Right.
and that's why men are like basically righteousness because they made the light. Because woman, the one can go deep in the darkness.
You said woman is the only one that can go deep
Yeah,
in the darkness.
basically.
Why you say that?
Because when he said in the
Eve,
beginning,
that wasn't true for Eve.
but
Yes, it was. She will implement the
but
darkness.
can I say something? So in the beginning it said dark before light, right?
Uh-huh.
So basically the man was created of the light first, and then woman is after because they see the light within him.
You said man was
Yes.
created
Oh
in
my
the light
God!
first.
Yeah.
Damn, she's
Yeah,
out
Say
of
that
darkness
one more
come
time.
light.
because out of darkness come light. So man was created in
Out
the
of
light.
darkness comes the light. Man was created
In the light first, because he was the ruler of what, the animals,
Yeah.
and he was the teacher.
Yeah, but in Genesis 1:26 it say man and male and female created he them. They're created together.
Yeah, as one.
Adam came second in Genesis 2. There was people here before Adam.
Exactly, of the dark.
Okay, all right.
Look,
She got a point. She got a point.
That was good. No, that was good.
Back
Yes,
to- all right, the
yes,
story of
absolutely.
The story of Jonah. Okay,
who was Jonah?
he was a dude that didn't want to listen.
Okay, so Jonah had to go through certain things in
Absolutely.
order for him to get to that point to want to go do what the Most High wanted him to do, right?
Mhm.
So once again, some people will get that wake up call.
For sure.
But for the ones, it's ones out here that won't get that wake up call. Unfortunately, it's going to take that for them to,
Well, yeah, let's
the end of
exercise
them
that.
is going to have to.
Can we exercise that?
Go ahead.
All right. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
hold on. Johnny says, dope podcast. Let me throw it up there real quick. Thank you, brother Johnny. We appreciate you. Make sure you like and share the live, man. We need it. Go ahead.
You are absolutely right.
That's right.
Because like I told you before,
Uh-huh.
once Adam bit off the apple,
Uh-huh.
humanity has been on a decline.
Because we want duality. We can't have duality of the tree of life.
Thank you. So whatever you buy
Uh-huh.
that ain't that
Uh-huh.
is what you develop. And you don't know that if you had too much icing on this cake that you would fuck around and catch diabetes. Until you fucked around and caught that shit.
Right.
Lack of knowledge. Yeah.
Dang. So until you got done doing all this shit,
What's that, Hosea chapter 4?
you know what I'm saying? You have to come to a realization that that's going to happen with every single person.
So what comes before destruction?
Right. So what I'm doing is,
See, before you catch diabetes, you start to experience some symptoms before you start.
The
to
poison
get
of
it
a
right.
snake.
but
Right.
that stop you from eating.
No, but a lot of that's those ones who don't get it.
No,
But the ones
no.
who get it is that person
You
who
got
had
it.
that stroke.
You
and
got
now
it.
the
You
left
got it.
side
Your
of
leg
your
almost
face
fell off.
You don't got no motion in it.
Right.
So that's what brought them to that point of now I need to cut out the sugar, the bad diets. I need to get on and work out and stuff like that.
Do you don't think there was smaller implications? Like a little kid came, damn, you getting big. You didn't think that was they coming up to you like, Nick, you better stop. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you
You
can't
didn't
see
look
the
at it like that.
signs because you be too much in the dark.
Thank you.
So like when you see the signs, you like, okay, this is not a sign.
Until the sign get big as
But that's
hell.
what I'm saying. You have to be thankful, appreciate the fact that you was able to come to that understanding, because the people who did not, they're not ever going to get that chance.
Okay, great. So what do you advise people that went through so much? Do you want them to go through that same thing to realize it?
Right,
or would you want to tell them, hey, listen the first time?
Yeah, let me answer that. Like, you can see, put it like this. You can see somebody, you can die and get killed. I'd rather die. Because we know people who been killed, right?
Right.
What have they been killed for?
You
You don't even know. Probably be doing something else.
Right.
But once again, all good things come to an end. You can do what you want to do. Go right ahead. You have that free will. Mm-hmm. But just like you got the free will, there's also consequences for your actions. Mm-hmm. So if I stood up in the middle of this room and set it on fire,
right,
I'm going to receive a consequence for that, because you just can't get up and set a room on fire and be like, oh yeah, that's that's what we do.
It's an action to your reaction.
Okay. I love that you said that. Remember I said in the beginning of the podcast, life is about perspective. So everybody has different perspectives of life. When they come down to it, you would love to be right, but you could have a possibility of being wrong. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Let me say it from my perspective. Right? Mm-hmm. Say if, what would you just have said? What you just had said that made me, what you said.
Action to the reaction. You talk about the guns. Like, basically, if you keep on biting the hand that feeds you wrong, you just gonna get.
You gotta get that. You gotta get it. Now, to the degree of what you get it, that's totally dependent and reliant on you. So what you do.
But sometimes I don't allow that person to go through that just for to prove a point.
Right. But then there's another layer to that too. Because there's a rapper that said,
your stomach
don't ever bite the hand that feeds you, but if that hand don't feed you, where do that leave you?
Starving.
So out of that desperation, what do you do? That's a totally different.
You gotta stay out of you got to stay out of a mind of desperation.
So what I'm saying is, there was a moment.
Because hold on. Because all right, let me clarify what I mean. Where there's desire to, you're gonna always have a person wanting to. Where there is no desire to, what the hell are we doing? So I mean, that's like, you have to have the desire to be a thief in order to steal. Because people who don't steal.
You know what the
desire is? But it's always options. Like, they put the options in our face A and B, but you don't know you can create a C.
Exactly. So look, it's because the option's there doesn't mean that's your only option.
Exactly.
You were saying
the unknown.
The desperation was the fact that they are poor. That's why they are stealing. They're not stealing for no reason.
That's or they create an image that they're poor, but nobody's poor. We're rich in spirit first. So it's an illusion that we're poor.
Stop saying these things with my nose happens.
Tell the nigga outside.
I said, you're not poor. You created that image. You created that character.
What do we know about conditions? You can change them. Because just like you live in the cold, you can stay in the hot too.
What's a condition?
It is
condition of the mind.
Good meat, bad meat.
But it hurts to change. It do hurt to change. Like when you like exercising, you have pain at first. You got to get used to change.
That's right.
So, but what do you advise? So the question was, are we declining as a humanity? I'm asking the question: what the fuck do we do to get it up? Because if we got to go through pain, and trial and error and all of these things in order to find out that we got to change, then that's a way.
You got to change yourself, right? You got to
that's a way.
Change
to go one way.
You don't.
You know what I'm saying?
The end.
Right. Understand his perspective. That's his way, right? They go one way. I'm bringing a whole nother way.
So what's the alternative? Just figure it out the first time?
That's a way, right?
If you see a garden and you see the
garden
not
growing,
growing,
you should just do it right the first time.
You gotta leave that.
But guess what? Can I give a great example of that? Do it right the first time, right? And this is why that's not gonna work. This is dartboard, right? That's a dartboard. Hold on.
Yes, come on, T.
Bullseye is here. I should be able to hit that.
And you gonna hit the target, right?
Okay. Now here. Okay. Go ahead.
Now, I should be able to hit that because it's there.
Right.
How did you know? How do you know?
Okay. What the fuck happened? Okay. This is an example, right? Example, right? This example, right?
It's called human error.
Great. So you just
That's
represent.
right.
You just
Tribulation,
great.
right.
You just
I had to
represent.
go through
You
something
gotta
to
go
get
through-
somewhere.
You just represent the human heritage.
That's the story, right?
No one
Yeah.
told Trump how to do it. He just asked the question and then threw it.
Yeah.
If he asked God, say if I played God,
Uh-huh.
and I said,
Uh-huh.
you want to know how to hit this bullseye?
Yeah.
You want to hit it, right? You chose to throw it. Why did you throw it from here when all you had to do was this?
It was simple.
Oh
He
my
was simple.
God. That's
It's that simple.
That's
All you gotta do is put that right here.
If you got the power in God
walk
within
away.
you, it's that simple.
It's that simple. Thank you. It's that simple. If you got
What's
the power of
yours
God,
is
if you
yours.
overcomplicate it, you can throw it from right here. No one's stopping you. That's free will.
Man,
Right.
man.
No one's stopping you
Yes.
from throwing it here, but you could have thrown it right here.
Okay, so
You could have got right here and did. But why didn't you do it?
Why didn't I do it?
Yeah, y'all teaching me.
Now-
I'm
now-
sorry
now-
now.
now
Sorry,
I'm
I don't know
talking about different
why.
levels.
That's hearing the first time.
Level.
No, that's hearing the first time. I went to God. the
Because
first
you didn't
time.
believe in yourself.
Thank you. I believed in God. So I went to the first time. Hey, God, what do I got to do? He said, just walk up on that motherfucker and hit. And I said, all right, bet.
But that's after you seen. But that's
No questions, no nothing.
But that's after you seen what?
Nothing.
Trial and error. Right?
I just, no. So I said,
Yeah.
that's my way.
Now you know how to walk up and put it in the bullseye.
Yeah, because I had to go through
No
things.
second,
You
one
made a
second.
mistake.
One second. Okay,
That's
hold
part
on.
of the story, though.
Because listen, hold on. Shabbar, one second. So that's different. Because
Oh, God.
that's not the same thing as meeting alone and saying, I'm just gonna get $100,000 loan. Because there's A's and B's and C's that come along with that. How do you inch up to the bank to say, I'm just gonna get the loan? How do you do that? Tell me how.
Who, me?
Yeah, tell me
With
how.
my way?
Yeah, tell me
With
how.
my way?
Okay, that's fine.
You want to know how simple it is?
Yeah.
This. Hey, God, check it out. I need to try to get this $100,000 loan. What do I got to do in order to make sure that my ducks are in a row in order for this shit to be accomplished?
Okay,
And I
and
go,
look,
boop.
and do you
And
think
then I
that
just
work for most people?
Can I say something?
Anybody that
So
believes,
basically,
yes,
God was
sir.
just like a
It's
genie
that
in the
simple.
book of life.
No, he puts you through lessons for you to learn to build your character. Because, like, sometimes God will put me in situations like, I don't deserve this. It's not what you deserve, it's what you need.
Me, thank you.
I do kind of rock with that, but
Because-
that's different than you.
No, it's
needing to
not.
prepare.
Let me
some
break it
things
down.
you gotta prepare
Let me
for.
break it down real quick. Let me break it down real quick.
But
I wasn't.
that dartboard was not the distance traveled because once again, that is the conditions of a person, how close you are
That's
and how far
that's
you
your
are.
Yeah,
choice.
yes,
But then
yes.
guess what?
That
That's
was-
your
that-
choice.
yeah.
That's your choice.
How is it? If
Easy,
you don't,
I just
you ain't
showed
even-
you.
You not hold on.
I
We
just
don't
showed
control our conditions. Parents control our conditions.
Shit.
Law and Faith Assembly
I-
agrees with you.
but you
He
separate
says,
the blood
he
and go to
says, or you
spirit.
could Google or search YouTube.
Say it again.
You could Google or search YouTube.
But watch
I think that's a little different.
But
Watch
both
this.
aspects is
Wait. She just hit it on the head.
Uh-huh.
As far as what
You don't
what
choose
she's
your
saying.
conditions. Your parents introduce you to your conditions.
But is you going to separate yourself from flesh? Because you can go through spirit. Because it's
And
not
separate
of the
yourself
blood.
from the
Separate
conditions.
yourself. I
It's
did
not
that.
of the blood.
We can't
It's of
Think
the
about it for
separate
people in
So-
jail right now. They separate themselves from their conditions all the time, just to have an experience outside of what they
but
see
that's
every
after
day.
you get here. Now you're able to choose your.
You gotta
conditions.
find your value, which you add value to. Because if you go
True.
across the
But
world, they
I'm
might
not
value
saying
you.
that
order
it's-
to have
I'm not
a place
saying
to
right.
live,
I'm
you
not
have to have
saying.
a
Did
state.
Jesus leave
A man
his
with no
town
status
because
is
he didn't
wrong.
want to
Hold on,
stay there?
everybody. Hold on. We gotta flash the fuck. I
Okay.
didn't mean to do it like that.
That's okay.
I'm glad they came
Oh, wait,
to
this is
me.
a good
Flash
topic.
the fire.
I'm just mad. I don't know what the.
Oh, wait,
Okay. Okay, I go last because I got something to say.
Okay. Let's go one at a time. Clockwise. I like clockwise. So go ahead, brother.
Okay, so damn, what was I saying?
I don't remember.
No. It's about the,
We was
about
in the
target.
spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, basically, conditions ain't brought upon by the person entering life.
Mhm.
They're the people before you. They give you your conditions.
Mhm.
It's for you to take the conditions you are given and make them better.
But what if
So
I
that-
don't like them?
You don't have it. No matter. Put it like we don't like our parents. Matter of fact, okay, foster kids. You think they like their parents?
Shit, they don't like the foster parent.
Okay, so they are given a condition that they didn't choose.
Uh-huh.
So that condition was given to them.
But they still got a
But
choice.
not every foster child out here prostituting and some of them actually go to school, go to college, and actually live decent lives.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But the same,
that everybody receives the same consequence is kind of far-fetched. Because we're all different people. We all come through channels and waves and different birth canals.
Real quick, 1 second. I don't date adopted people no more.
Huh.
That was my rule. I wouldn't date adopted people. My wife is actually adopted. I'm so glad my wife is not a horrible person. The brother-in-law in Faith Assembly, he say he got about 12 muscle arms to the brother Corey. He's rocking with the brother Corey, man. All praise.
Thank you, brother.
But I don't even know where I was going. I done had too many shots.
I was talking about how your wife.
Yeah. Adopted people come into situations that are outside of their control that have real life effects on other people. If my wife didn't work on herself, if she wasn't older, I probably wouldn't have dealt with her. Because I dealt with a couple of women that were adopted. It was not good. They got a lot of issues, and I'll say this: psychological barriers they have to get past before they can come into a certain realm.
Mm-hmm. I got a question. So basically, I believe in both what y'all saying, but I get what he said. Some of the chosen ones, basically like Moses, Jesus, they had to leave their village to basically become who they are. That person add value. There was nothing wrong with them. It was the condition of their environment. So it just depends. Sometimes you're not of the light. Sometimes people are light beings that basically supposed to learn from the dark to basically expose it. Yeah. So I get both of them.
Moses had to clip that guy, that Egyptian or whatever.
Yeah. Peter hit dude in the ear. Yeah. But let's go with this then.
Yeah.
Can we all agree that we are all born into sin?
Yes.
So
no.
No.
We are born into sin.
Some people don't sin.
Conditions.
Now,
we born into sin.
Meaning, now we're back at perspective again. What do you consider a sin? Because what if I in my household all of the stuff?
I'm gonna go small. I ain't even gonna go major. So small.
Family dynamic.
Understood?
Yeah,
look how small this is. No one thinks about this.
Like the Sopranos, we don't see that as wrong.
You damn right. So watch this. Watch this. Look, I'm gonna use a small example. No one ever thinks about this shit, but it's gonna blow your mind. When I say born into sin, that means you are a baby. And off that fact, you are a sinner off of the fact that you were born.
But babies don't sin.
Watch this shit.
You're not even accountable
Watch
for
this shit. You are born into sin. Listen to the words.
Okay,
into sin.
Okay, born into like a world
Watch
of
this.
sin.
Watch this.
Yeah.
If your parents aren't married, in the eyes of the Lord, you did what?
You didn't sin.
What they do?
Well,
they made energy basically
because scripturally, once they lay down,
no. Yes, the womb is the seed.
Once they scripture,
yeah, I know.
Quick question. Once they scripture,
what people doing before they was meeting?
But then you talk about the
It's small, but if these
one second. Scripturally, once you lay down with a person, you have married them.
Yeah.
In the technical
terms, when let's say I took someone, I was at a club, the scripture say if you entice a maid, if you spit game to her and she go, you gotta go talk to her father. If you get called, that's what it say.
It's all perspective because I don't know where you stand on your beliefs as far as how much you believe of the Bible. I believe 100% of the Bible.
100% of the Bible.
100%
Torah.
Okay, so
when Isaac laid down with Rebecca, it wasn't no ceremony. He took her.
So what's fornication?
Fornication is when you break one of the sexual laws.
Oh, so how do you break one of the sexual laws?
So, for example, when they talk about the LGBT, when you perform those acts, that would be fornication. Or when a person has an intimate moment with an animal, that would be fornication. Or the
I don't know.
Go ahead, I'm listening. Go ahead.
I know, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can
try to code it.
I'm gonna code it as best as I can, right? So if two corns and the cobs, right? Listen to me now. Two corn and the cobs, right?
Yeah.
Fuck around and go, hey, let's get married, dog. All right, man, let's go and get married, pimp. In the eyes of the Lord, that is no marriage at all. Because why in the scripture? We going off scriptures alone. So not even that. That's the reason why it's formed in context. Yeah. But in the scriptures, why?
But that don't.
Not even that. Not even that. Not even that. Yes, you're right. You're right. Absolutely. But what did the scriptures say a marriage is?
between a man and his wife.
Abomination.
But that's universal.
Between a shell and a corn, nigga.
All right, yeah.
Between a shell and a corn.
Right, yeah.
Between a shell and a corn. If two corns come out of nowhere and say, let's get married, there's no way in fucking that can be a marriage because what? God domained it that it be a shell and a corn. So anything outside of that shit is
abomination.
Right, but that's universally understood though. It's universally understood. That's the reason why the general population is straight, and a minority of people are engaging in the same,
But why is it universally known?
Because it's not internal. Because you can't basically.
She's snapping.
It's not internal.
I think it is internal. I think people know naturally that
it's nothing that can.
Basically,
it's
you live through your children, right? So when you die, you're gonna live through your children, and your children's children gonna live through them. Then your children's children after that gonna live. That's internal.
Yeah.
Right?
So what makes the corn in the cob? Like, how did that happen then? If that's not the case,
because
what made
so
go
like we said at the beginning, right? Like we said at the beginning, like I said at the beginning, there are different people groups that exist in our reality.
Yeah.
What is moral for me in my group is not moral for another group.
I get what you're saying.
So other groups practice different things.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
What grounds humanity? What grounds them?
So if we're going by the scripture, according to the Lord, He only dealing with us. So what other people do is not. But
guess what?
It's not really.
But nobody else.
Like I said, it's perspective. Because that's why I don't have a label.
Yeah.
That's exactly why. Because I see all people as His people off of the basic premise and
even though He said He don't see that.
That's exactly wrong. You've been sitting here trying to explain.
It may have been said. It may have been said.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. But there's a representative of equal power that said something of an equivalent nature.
I disagree.
Okay,
go ahead.
So it had an equivalent nature. So much so that it divided and made religions. So now, we go
hold on, pause. Because now I'm confused. I thought you would say something different. Because you said it divided and made religion. Explain that. Go elaborate.
Well, there's people that have Old Testament ruling and only go off of the Old Testament.
Some people only go off the OT. Okay.
We separate ourselves, divided ourselves instead of being one.
Yeah, the Catholics
exactly.
Body.
We're supposed to be one body.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is one body, one mind shit.
Yeah.
But if you believe so much so on this side more than this side, you would never get this side.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, yes, God said that, but Jesus also said this.
No, because Christ said He only came for His people, Israel. Christ said that.
But who can all be His people? Anybody
only Israelites. He literally said in the scripts, "I come not except but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel."
Oh, yeah,
that's what He said. He didn't come for anybody. And even if He wanted to, even if Christ wanted to, it was prophesied that He would come and save Israel. Isaiah 14:1 says what? Dang it! Now let me pull it up. Before you.
Can I ask a question?
Hold on, go ahead, and then I'm gonna pull it up.
What is suicide if it's something keeping you here?
So
if there's something keeping you here, what is suicide?
If you ask me, selfishness.
Yeah. Hold on, let me say this real quick. Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. He only came for us. He only came for Israel.
What was the
to give them the world to build their nation?
Right, but what was the two groups? What was the two groups?
Like,
it was the
Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom.
Not that. The other name of it. It was either you was an Israelite or you was
a Gentile.
Didn't they say something in the Bible that a Gentile can be under the same ruling as an Israelite?
No, you would have to show me that.
I'm saying, like, if
he's not in Exodus 12, it says that they can't, non-Israelites can't even come to Passover.
True, because that was the old way of it. So
but Revelation 14:12 says that the only way you make it to the kingdom is if you keep the law and have faith in Christ. You got to keep the law.
Exactly. That means that it didn't say Israelites. It didn't. That meant that laws for all.
How can you keep a law? How can you keep a law that doesn't apply to you?
But it's a
Because
universal law.
no excuse.
It's a universal law
If I can answer,
for every nation.
if I can answer,
Hold on, I agree.
It is
There are certain laws that
for every
biblically
nation.
do apply to every nation. We know Sodom and Gomorrah had the corn on the cob laws. That's what we gonna call it.
The corn.
The
Respect
corn
every
laws.
nation, because it's
the
always
corn.
a light that bounce on each other. Because basically, that's why we don't eat off the tree of bad and good, because it's basically you will never understand the capability of God and why He created everything. Because He did create bad, but we don't understand He created evil. We'll never understand why He created. It's written in
the scripture. He created good and He created evil.
But to our understanding, because we'll get lost in too many rabbit holes. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
And she just hit it damn near almost on the nail on that.
Solomon basically was a wise person. He like Jesus. I guess he was close to like the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And he even said about like having too much knowledge, how self-destructing it is.
If Christ said that?
No, Solomon.
But if I can answer your question or give you a deeper perspective on that thought, this is going to help you tremendously. If they would have ate from that apple with the knowledge and shit that we have now, there would be no way that God would be able to save us, because that would be all we know, and we would live for eternity with that knowledge.
Duality?
With whatever knowledge we have now, if we would have ate from that tree, that's why He has a guard in the front of the gate of Eden right now to this day. So the devil won't go into that place to get us that fruit so we can live like this for eternity.
But I think Jesus basically with the cross is the division of yin and yang. He was the minus sign between both of them, like the crossover, like to even get into the heaven gates.
So he took the other man and killed him.
Yeah, and like basically he kind of
Hold on 1 second. Dominic says this is a great conversation. What are y'all drinking? I need some. LOL.
I haven't drank that much,
iced tea, brother. Long Island iced tea, big dog.
I love talking about wisdom. Like that's my favorite.
Oh, brother Dominic, the brother Corey said, "What's up?"
It goes deep. Like everything goes deep, but the only answer is your answer to get to the kingdom.
Because nobody knows until you know.
And
we know because Jesus said what we had to do. We got to keep the law and have faith.
But you gotta actually create yourself.
If we change, right? But
you can't be a robot though. Like you gotta.
What do that mean? What do you mean?
Basically, you can follow, but you like a robot is you gotta. I like to be original, the original man, the original woman. Okay. Because like be me, because I'm like I'm a flower. You know how you look in nature, how everything's uniquely made in its own image. Like I want to be that. I want to be beautiful.
You can't do that. Keeping the law.
No, the law is different. But you get to be your original self. You don't have to be a robot.
Can I give you an example of what she's saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
like
I understand what you're saying, because this is a thought that I was having. I'm like,
the brother Domino Corey.
Yeah, yes sir.
Like I'm not saying don't keep the laws and the commandments, but you can create. You are a co-creator. You can create.
What type of person are you with those commandments and things that you follow?
And I can get down with that because what the scripture say. I forget the exact wording, but you can follow the law, but you don't follow the spirit of the law. You follow the letter of the law. And what that means is like, so for example, a person could be keeping the law, but you could be like some of the Pharisees who went astray, and they were just wicked. They was hypocrites. They would be in public with their fringes on, and then at home they breaking the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? So I could definitely rock with that information for sure. But that doesn't mean then that just because you give charity, you don't have to keep the law. You still got to keep the law.
Understood.
According to scripture. Yeah.
Okay, then let me ask you this natural question.
Okay.
A lot of people just want to make it in heaven.
Okay.
What do you want to do in heaven?
What is heaven?
I want to be free.
No. Don't go too far. Do not go too far.
Heaven is the freedom to be able to create your God-given birthright. And like, if you're not creating, you're dead.
That's hers. Watch this. I'm going to tell you mine. I figured mine out. I knew exactly who the hell I am.
Yeah.
I gave y'all a little glimpse of who I am. I told you, somebody had to go and guard the gate, guard the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
Guard in Hebrew means shamar. Ironically, I found that out. Finding out my mom hit me with the, hey, there's some shit called the Shamar prophet. I'm like, what the fuck is the Shamar prophet? The Shamar prophet is a watchman. The nigga that's on the top of the tower letting everybody know what the fuck is going on back here and won't allow an enemy in this bitch. He's the last line of defense.
Where you get that information from?
The Shamar prophet. You can look it up. It's a book. That means that my name is.
You decode your own self, like.
But I have to want to know this. So when I figured that out, it's so simple. If you want to know who God made you to be, look up your name.
My name is IAmYahly.
But that's how simple it was for me. You see, honestly, that's what I'm saying. With God, everything's simple. So when I looked that up, I found out my name is not a name, it's a title.
Do you think it's a mathematical game we live in?
Like a motherfucker, yes.
Yeah, so it's decoding.
Yeah. But
numerology. This
yeah.
Put me up.
Yeah, but don't get too far deep on that either. That's all.
Numbers is basically shapes, because that's why it shaped our mind like different shapes do.
Yeah, but basically, long story short, I call myself now the strongest. Period. I walk in any room and make anybody feel me. Why? Because I represent something. I stand for the people that's behind me. I have to. It's in my name to do so. That was all. I was built up to be this nigga. That's why everything around me is sword this, samurai shit this, this. Why am I attracted to all of these things? Because this is who I am at its core when I make it to heaven.
So you believe you was called to be a protector?
I am that. That's my name. So that's what I'm saying. When I go to heaven, I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing there, because I'm going to have a role and a job. It's even stated in the scriptures that everybody will have different roles and positions due to the works that they did on this earth. So if your ass want to just only follow the commandments, and that's it, you can make it into heaven. But what the fuck will you be doing up there? Are you just a natural regular civilian?
I think when you like open up yourself and know who you are, everything that frequently matters to you will come to you, and like basically the highest of who you are.
So I'm encouraging you to an important question. Dominic says, "Is numerology witchcraft?" And I'm going to answer first. According to Scripture, we have to be very careful. There is a numerology that is in fact witchcraft, but there are some aspects of numbers scripturally we can look at to discern the times and seasons.
As above, so below.
I would be careful, because it can delve into the matter of witchcraft if you're not careful. Don't worship these things.
So too, it's kind of like martial arts. It depends on whose hands it in. So the state of mind that you in, like your kind of heart, your ways. If you're an evil person, then with powerful knowledge, you can do some evil things. But if you got that good heart, then you're gonna do great things.
That's right.
Powerful knowledge. So
I like the people in the Bible, basically the ones they thought that wasn't righteous by God. Those are my favorite people because they was authentic. Like they didn't know nothing. They knew their heart was of God, but they didn't know nothing about the concepts, and because I think that's me. Like I'm a rebel, but I'm a fighter.
The scripture says that this rebelliousness is as the sin of witchcraft. But that's talking about the law and breaking the law.
Oh yeah.
Well, can I try to answer that?
Yeah.
If God made good and evil, right?
Yeah.
What defined that? Him.
Right.
So I'm saying I agree with you and all that, but under these terms. We got taught numerology, astrology, and all these things from the fallen. If y'all know what that story is.
Yeah, the fallen light, fallen stars.
Yeah, the fallen stars. Yes.
Yeah.
So
I know all about them.
We learned it from them. They learned the secrets in heaven, but didn't learn all of the secrets.
The secret codes, like the ancient codes,
like
numerology, astrology, all of everything that we know on Earth.
That's where rich people. That's how they all wealthy now.
Show me that in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Where they get that from? Where they get that?
The ancient scrolls.
In the Dead Sea Scrolls.
They got them on the pyramids. They have been. The Bible is the ancient scrolls, but men created in their image to have power. But ancient scrolls, they in your DNA. Like it's in your Akashic records, but within yourself.
Okay, show me. If I can entertain,
I can't show you.
Why not?
Because it's inside of me.
How do I know it's true?
It's the light.
How do I know it's true?
Repetition.
Over time, you see it, or like, I mean, the only reason you know it's true if you see it like growing in front of your eyes. But everything's an illusion. Yeah. I think. How do you know? You're right. We live in a world of illusions. How do you know you the way? You're the truth, right?
Right.
I think over time. Because somebody can show you something, it's surface levels. Even it's surface levels within us. Yeah. Because I can look at this mic, only see this part. But when I go inside, it's different layers to it.
Hey, brother Shamar.
Yeah, I got it. I want to entertain this question real quick and then go out.
Okay.
Okay. I love it. What if you grew up, baby, right? Came out the womb into a cultic background. You don't know shit.
Born into sin.
But you are growing up in this occultic
the church.
background.
That's what I was.
But
sheep, like you go into the wilderness, you get slaughtered by the wolves.
Right.
But it's up to you if you can become a wolf or a lion. So like I'm gonna be the lion because I might be a wise man instead of a person that take the power of wherever they give you. Because power is self-destructing. Like I said, real power is self-control. So like if you take that power and not to use it but to ask questions, that's a wise man.
To find out why you or why they are even in the position they are in to even put you in this.
Now you're gonna go back to your village and create
a whole new way off of what you know, which was your goddamn background. So that's why I say you are born into sin. If you don't acknowledge that, then you will never acknowledge that these motherfuckers are doing wrong. What's wrong is sin. Sin is wrong.
But you have lack of knowledge. How would you know? Because you was born into it.
Thank you. So when you walk into this bitch, you have a whole different perspective. You not only got his perspective, my perspective, but God's perspective. How I'm gonna lose? I'm gonna tell you exactly what you need to do because God told me to tell you this shit, nigga. Why am I even in the space to be in here? Right. Because me and you are the same motherfucker. We came off the same block. You feel me? So hell yeah, I can tell you where to go, how to do it, and how to wear it because you can look on me and see that I'm following the directions. So do unto others what you want done for yourself.
For sure.
Feel me?
And on that note, family.
Yes.
I'm on that note.
Yes,
sir.
Hey, good to see you again, bro. Yeah, man. Be smooth out here. You too. Pleasure speaking with you. Thank you. Y'all niggas be smooth out here, all right?
For sure.
Let this be the last time.
This is such a good topic. Like, I'm glad I got
This is a very good one. Hopefully y'all keep it going on here, man. That's a very good conversation. Like that's top 5.
All praises. We hope to see you back on the show, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, y'all be smooth out here.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Wisdom TV 3, y'all.
Wisdom TV 3. If you're not following Wisdom TV 3 on YouTube, what all platforms you on? Yes, sir. YouTube, Wisdom TV 3. Get in tune. You know what I'm saying? Be there or be square. Y'all know the vibes. In any case, all praises to the Most High God of our fathers, man. I think that was a dope topic. We've been streaming now for how long? It's been 1 hour and 45 minutes. If I was using this camera, it'd be dead. I'm glad I got that spare. So we're going to wrap it up here, family. We had a lot of engagement. I'm excited for the next show. The next show is probably going to be, what did we say? What did I say I was going to be titled? The Development of Gang Culture. Okay, yeah. I think that's the next one. I'm excited. I'm excited about that one. But all praises, we will see you guys next time. Until then, enjoy your day.